Right, I don't know if we're live or not yet. I imagine that we are. So if we are, I would like to welcome you all to the final evening of Precious.Collective Online Jewellery Week 2021. Today, as you know, has been about the emerging talent. So that is makers who are within the first 2 years of graduating, the first 2 years of setting up their practice, or who are still studying. And this wonderful category has been curated by the fabulous Juan Hirschek, who I had the pleasure of meeting, I think, for the first time back in 2000 and, let me get this right, 2016 or so, at Hoya. And this fabulous man came up to me and said, you should come and see my work. I'd like to see yours. And I went over assuming it was another maker, which of course he is, we all know. And he had the most wonderful display of work that I had not seen before, of artists I had never met before, and displayed in a beautifully unique way. And from that moment on, we got on incredibly well. And he always said to me, when you start making again, because I wasn't making at the time, come and find me and I would love to show your work, not on a personal basis, but just based on, you know, being someone who was emerging into the scene, I suppose. And he did. And, you know, some years later, I finished some work and I sent it over and he said, I like it, I'd love to show it. And he's always stuck in my mind as somebody who really champions new makers, people who've got a voice that they might be struggling to get out there or finding a platform to present their work on. And I feel very honoured to call him a friend as well as a colleague, and would love to present him to you all now. So Juan, if you'd love to join us online, please do.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, sweetie.
I hope you're not blushing too much from the introduction.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So you have spent the last few months working with the emerging talent.
Yes.
And putting together a fabulous selection of artists.
Yeah, 10 artists.
Which you are now going to present to us. So shall I disappear off the line and leave you to it?
Yeah, sure. So let's go for it. Hello, everybody. I am Juan Hirschek, contemporary jewelry artist and curator with Alliage, and I am a member of Precious.Collective since the beginning. I am the curator of this emerging talent event, and I'm very happy because I think that emerging talents are the artists of the future. I cherish a lot the emerging talents because I think that they have a lot of things to say and to do in jewelry field. I hope you will enjoy this exhibition.
Hi folks, my name is Erin Calvert and I am a jeweller and maker from Belfast, Northern Ireland. I'm here to introduce my current body of work entitled Warts and All. This collection aims to approach the issue of social stigma surrounding abnormalities of the flesh and people who have physical abnormalities and atypical appearances who receive, unwanted attention every day. I'd like to encourage the audience to consider how they think of people who look different than themselves and what role beauty standards play in this. I wanted these pieces to have an organic, growth-like appearance in order to cause discomfort in the viewer. So I have one of my pieces here. I'll try it on just to show you. So you get a good look. So each of these pieces is designed online using a haptic design software that allows me to play about with the sort of like the flesh, like texture and form, the lumpy wardiness, and then it's I send those designs off to be 3D printed, and when they come back I make molds of them and hand pour and mix the rubber silicone to get this lovely texture. So the concept behind this project is inspired by my own experience of having warts on my hands in primary school. I had quite a lot of warts on my hands and I was only about 12, so this really shaped the way I engaged in relationships with my peers, how I made friends, and just my whole social experience when I was younger was probably a bit different than somebody else's who maybe had a neurotypical appearance or maybe looked, normal. A word we don't like, but when people don't understand something or they see it as different, they sometimes don't know how to react and can appear uncomfortable. So this whole body of work aims to destigmatize and celebrate people with atypical appearances rather than casting them aside. And of course, because it is a series of rings, they are all worn on the hand, and each piece is bigger, they grow down the arm. So this is one in the middle, and that's to symbolize sort of the fear of contagion that we all have. I'm sure we've all experienced it during this pandemic, but it is something that people experience every day with different appearances. People treat them different and are afraid to touch them, and this collection sort of documents my experience of that. And also because they are rings and because they sit in their hand and can be worn, they encourage people to play and not be afraid. So I hope you'll enjoy reading through my artist statement and looking at my images. Thank you.
Born and bred on the shores of the North Sea, I always gravitated towards the sea. Walking along the coast, watching the churning seas, feeling the crunching seashells under my feet, and listening to the squawking of seagulls has always been an important part of my life. With a camera and a bag, I would stroll along the coast. I take pictures, pick up rubbish, and collect all sorts of objects I find along the way. More and more frequently, the collection of plastic waste I stumble onto is truly overwhelming. Once home, I sort out my collection. Some things are soon discarded and thrown in the trash bin. Other items are carefully cleaned and archived on shape and color. The photos and the beach finds are my inspiration, and some of the items become part of my designs. The collection Turning Tides is about becoming aware of the plastic pollution. Wearing of jewelry can play an innovative role in this process as a means of communication. My wish is that this can lead to a realization of what we are doing to our world through plastic pollution, as well as cherishing the beauty of unspoiled nature. Our natural world is vulnerable and susceptible to change because of human intervention. By merging and contrasting the natural and the unnaturals, my designs embody our influence. Our seas and oceans are becoming more and more polluted from plastic debris every year. We are changing our world with this increasing tide of plastic. We are plasticizing nature. Whilst my designs will not change the world, I hope that they can lead to an awareness and inspiration to protect our world.
My Perfect Life is a series of brooches based on the impossible obsession of our times with a perfect facade. Could it really be that it's more important to look happy than to be happy? In this brooch and the others in the series, I've combined both materials and motif in the storytelling. Just like that perfect facade that we might want to show off to the world, nothing is quite like it might seem with this brooch. The mother-of-pearl acrylic smileys have been bent so as to distort the happy faces as they lay pressed up against the plastic domes.
I'm a student at Central St. Martin's going into my second year of BA Jewellery Design. I grew up in Sydney, Australia before coming to London to study for university in 2019. I come from a Chinese background, so I feel that I float somewhere in between the two cultures, not fully belonging to either one, but both cultures are really important parts of my identity. So I definitely think that it shapes my thoughts and intrinsically comes through in my work. I gravitate towards jewelry as a medium because of its quiet versatility. It draws upon elements of art, fashion, and other fields of design. And as a young designer and creative thinker, I find that aspect of jewelry to be really exciting. I also love the intimacy of jewelry design because it allows for my thoughts and ideas to be experienced by others in such a tactile way. There really is this poignant sense of storytelling and sharing, which I think is so distinctive to jewelry as a medium. I enjoy working in a conceptual manner, and I'm heavily influenced by contemporary art. I tend to be drawn to contemporary Australian and Chinese artists because of their resonance with my experience of cultural hybridity. For instance, in my tea set pieces, I was informed by Australian artist Rosalie Gascoigne. She creates these assemblages using found objects gathered from her surroundings, suggesting the idea that we shape and are shaped by our environment. So in this way, the tea set pieces explore the dissonance between the self and the environment in everyday life through looking at utilitarian objects such as the teacup and the teapot. These pieces were created using air-dry clay, which were combined with knitted and woven raffia, and these elements of textile design come from specializing in fashion design during my foundation course, also at Central St. Martin's, where I learned a lot of textile techniques that I wanted to bring into a jewellery context. I'm also quite fond of basketry, which I think is quite evident in these pieces as well. All three works were created during my first year of studies. I think that my work has been quite experimental in terms of material, and that's only been furthered by the restrictions imposed during lockdown at the time. I was only able to use materials that were readily available to me, such as egg carton boxes, which you can see in Cascade, and plastic bottles and tea bags in Singed. And these pieces were very much material-based approach, as opposed to a conceptual one, which was a nice change for me, and I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. The process of just being more experimental and tactile and allowing the qualities of the material to really dictate the design, as well as creating renewed value for waste. I think that there is much to be said about creating during such circumstances, but I am really proud of the work that I've been able to produce, and I just have this hunger to learn more and to do more.
I've always been fascinated by materials. They have such a singular way to communicate with the viewer. I remember collecting shells on the beach when I was 6 years old, and then to drill them in order to create jewel. I like the idea of a natural material that travels a long way before settling on the sand and offering itself to our contemplation. In my past creations, I use both synthetic and organic materials, sometimes combined together. However, getting every day more aware from environmental issues. From now, my creation will only be made out of organic materials or upcycled materials. I like to create, but I am also very excited when it comes to discovering other artists' works. In the future, I would like to open my own workshop and concept store in Spain in order to promote objects, furniture, tools from different designers.
Symbiosis was an idea that arose during confinement, which got me and my family in our second residence in Sesga, a rural village located in full contact with nature. It was then when I began to realize that nature has become a resource accessible only to a privileged few, and while I was observing that values like visits to green spaces were reduced to 90%, mental disorders such as anxiety, stress, even depression increased at 40%, which indicated that mental health and contact with nature are closely related. This led me to consider, solving through jewellery, the need to create a green and individual space that at the same time try to make us reflect and raise environmental awareness about the impact of nature on our lives. Symbiosis aims to represent the natural space by projecting a living object where time and action are objects of its construction, where the piece will depend on the user and their commitment to keep it alive. A piece that in that dependency for life forces us to become aware of their fragility. We are the first conscious generation to have a clear picture of our impact on nature, but we could also be the last to reverse this trend. Symbiosis is not an intervention with links to social movements, but rather an awareness-raising operation on the part of the users, a solution adapted to the needs of the future, incorporating sustainability into the design process.
My collection Transparent Waste is a collection that combines traditional jewellery with packaging waste. The two aesthetics are clashing and they highlight one another. And the collection is made out of 4 necklace pieces with vacuum sealed Swarovski crystals and dried flowers within recyclable plastic pouches. The colourful chains are made out of recycled plastic. The collection wants to draw attention to the major and current issue related to plastic packaging waste, and it also wants the wearer to be quite playful with the way the necklaces are worn, because the pouches can be exchanged with someone else, or the chain can also be removed, and one can also use a chain they already have with the existing pouch. So it's a playful way of seeing jewellery, and at the same time it wants to highlight a very important issue that affects us all. Thank you.
I'm Sarah Mas from Spain, living between Valencia and Barcelona. In the beginning, I felt confused because I like many different jewelry techniques and I enjoy a lot with hundreds of materials. But soon I understood which material and which technique is going well with me. I have chosen iron like the main material, because it was a challenging job, especially when I had never worked it before. About the other material that I have chosen was enamel. I don't use the techniques exactly as I learned it, but I think it's interesting to find your own way. So, with these two materials, I decided finally work it because both of them speak the same language as me.
My name is Suyu Chen. I am a jewelry artist and maker based in Rochester, upstate New York, in United States. I am originally from China and have been living and working in Rochester since 2017 when I came to Rochester Institute of Technology to pursue my studies in the MFA program. My work focuses on variety and modification of analysis forms by using the same man-made object as a basic module. It's an interaction between objects and myself. The countless separation, coloring, sanding, and combination that are kept on the surface reveal the subtle imperfections and my honest handcrafting process. This artificial material are an explanation of industry as well as myself, and by composing jewelry works which are related to forms and marks, I explore the relationships between the repetitive practice and self-awareness. The main material of my work is PVC tube and resin clay. I am obsessed with its made gray surface and the subtle form differences that occur in the industrial production process. I cut, combine, and reform them with resin clay and liquid plastic, then painted with enamel paint and gesso. During the coloring process, I apply paints multiple times and create subtle textures as well as marks on each layer by sanding or scratching, in order to mimic the objects in the nature that feel with human imprints. I play with jewelry or wearable objects in different scales. I am making an object that can store my sentimental and personal emotions. They are formless, but had been blended into my piece by my hands. I also collaborate with local photographers to present my works. I enjoy making crafts and working with different people that have different cultural backgrounds. I wish I can bring new perspective to audience through objects that I make. Thank you for watching.
So for me, contemporary art jewellery is a practice rooted in traditional crafts, celebrating traditional craft skills and hand skills, and also embracing, newer modern skills and materials such as plastics and nylon, which I enjoy using. This the current body of work I am looking at today uses silicone rubber and 3D printing techniques that are obviously very modern, but I am a trained metalsmith, so I love both skill sets, and it's lovely to be able to use both as a means of communication. So art jewellery is often used to make a statement on relevant social context and can be used as a powerful communicative tool.
Contemporary art jewelry aims to deliver a message. The creator can express something intimate, want to raise awareness, or invite to take action. A contemporary art jewelry, it's a work of the heart. That way it is always holding so much passion, strong feelings and emotions. Contemporary art jewelry widens the definition of a jewel, questioning some of its main features. Every material can be used, even wasted. The jewel is not necessarily aimed to last or to be worn, and it can be placed some over parts of the body that are not traditionally adorned, at least not in our Occidental culture. Above all, contemporary art jewelry is a powerful tool for expression. Sometimes intriguing, it is an invitation to discussion.
Contemporary art jewelry for me is a way for explaining all your thoughts, sometimes your feelings, and even sometimes you explain a history that you have something inside deep and you want to explain with a concept. And I can say that I really like the contemporary art jewelry because you can explain all these thoughts with many different materials, and then you feel totally free.
For me, jewelry has to be decorative and wearable, but they should stand out in size and color. For me, art jewelry wants to convince the viewer and the wearer based on a vision.
Contemporary art jewelry for me is jewelry which is unconventional in its concept, interaction with, or manipulation of the body, as well as its use of techniques and materials. It challenges the role of jewelry as being beyond adornment, where the distinction between jewelry, sculpture, and even performance becomes blurred. Contemporary art jewelry also calls into question the perceived preciousness or value of an object. I think that material exploration is a significant aspect of art jewelry, with this idea of challenging existing jewelry making conventions through the use of materials that are often perceived to be non-precious, such as waste or found objects. I believe there is also a strong sense of concept and meaning, which creates this dialogue between the medium and the body. But ultimately, I think that contemporary art jewelry is at its core a form of artistic experimentation.
For me, contemporary jewelry is a souvenir, a special object to memory, life, and relationship, a form of artistic expression between crafts and fine arts.
Contemporary jewellery to me is that one field that allows one to combine various different meanings and influences from different fields in a very, very small scale, and that is also wearable. That is the reason why I've always been fascinated by it and the reason why I operate within it.
For me, contemporary jewelry is a language where we can express our ideas and emotions, a means that allows us to generate an exponential impact to users through the portability it offers. It's sculpture worn on the body, it's wearable art, it's my means of creation and the way I shape my ideas and values.
Art jewelry for me can serve to convey feelings, attitudes, positions, and identity to the outside world. Contemporary art jewelry is so-called contemporary because it places in the historical dimension. Most of the topics that I'm interested in are about social hot topics, for example, environmental issues, consumerism, or the vulnerable groups in the society. Therefore, I hope that these silent speakers can arouse public's attention on social issues rather than be forgotten. And their audience might be the empathetic parties, communicators in the stream of consciousness, or those who want to alert themselves.
Hello, I'm back.
And I'm back as well.
Yeah,
We're here.
perfect.
Sorry about that, Juan. I kind of got so immersed
It's
in the
okay.
video that I completely forgot that we were coming back.
Yeah, because you didn't know the video yet, so
There you go.
surprise.
It was the first
Yeah.
time as well for me. That was fantastic. It's so lovely to, because I've seen the work obviously on the website, pcojw.org, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, with the makers' work and obviously their statements and all the work that's been going up on our Instagram page. But it is so lovely to have that insight, and especially asking them the question what contemporary jewelry means to them. Really nice touch. But I mean, is that everything, or was there any more that they?
Yeah, normally when I ask the artists to make the video explaining things, I ask them to a new video to answer to 3 questions. So just to not make it very long here, I decide just to put the first question, and the 2 alternative questions will be put on the website later on. Just to
fantastic.
Make people wait, and just you know how I work. I like to drop the things slowly.
Yeah.
I'm not very fan of communicate 1,000 times. I prefer to communicate from time to time, but have a big impact.
It's like a multi-course meal. You don't sit down and have one big dish. You sit down, you have a starter, and then the main course, and then the pudding and digestif.
That's the idea, of course.
Oh, fantastic. So that's all to look forward to then. So keep checking in on the website for more updates from the emerging talents then. Oh, exciting. I'm excited. I didn't even know that. It's surprising me. Stop this.
That was the goal,
Oh, how wonderful. So I suppose all we've got left to do now is say, go make yourself a cup of tea, a coffee, grab a glass of wine, some gin if you like, or anything like that, and that we're essentially going to be back here, same link, in about half an hour, aren't we, for the award ceremony? Unless you've got something else to add, Juan, or was that?
No, it's okay. It's as I told you before. It's been a big pleasure to work with young talents, because the philosophy of Aliage and myself. We have to show that work, because I think it's very powerful. You have always surprises. They are fresh. They push the boundaries out of the limits, and that's the reason why. That's one of the reasons I'm doing that. So.
Not tainted by kind of years of experience.
Yeah, you know perfectly that when I do the open calls, I never ask for experience. I ask it since 2 years, because this way I have information for the web. But it's not. I don't look at that when I make the selection. That's for sure.
No, and it's always refreshing to see that, and just great that you're there to do that for these artists, to help them find that voice, give them that platform.
Yeah, and don't forget, there's an open call actually running for the next exhibition.
Yes.
And that's ending about mid-October.
Okay, cool. So get your applications in. Yeah. go to the Alliage website or on Instagram or probably any of our pages where we'll be sharing it.
You can have information in Clint.
Yeah. So yeah, send your work in.
See you later.
I'll see you in half an hour. And guys, I'm going to put a screensaver up on here so you can remember we're not gone. We're just taking a quick break, comfort break, and we will be back.
Yeah, for sure.
See you in a bit, Juan.
See you.
Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. And thank you for joining. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. And thank you for joining us this evening at our awards ceremony. It has been an absolute pleasure for all of the committee to have seen your work, discovered your work, had conversations with you. We would like to thank all of our artists for such proactive involvement and for being so keen to take part in our interviews, in filming their own videos, and in giving us a bit more insight into the world in which they live, work, and exist, really. We'd also like to extend a huge thank you to our partners, Alliage, Autor, K2, Cluster, and Melody Vaughan, for having been so generous with your time and with your prizes. We're ecstatic to have been partnered with you and can't wait to announce who will be winning what. I'd like to give one final shout out to Makers Against Extinction, which has been spearheaded by Lucy Spink, also a Precious member, and they have been championing global charities that are supporting the environment. If you'd like to find out more, all of the information has been posted up on our website as well as our Instagram page. So please go find it. Please go and support Lucy and the Makers Against Extinction. And we will have a special announcement after the awards with regards to this. Without further ado, I would like to present the award ceremony. And to kick it all off, we have the wonderful Juan from Alliage.
Hey, precious people. It's Juan Rusek from Alliage, and I've been honored to be the curator of Emerging Talent event in this first Precious Collective Online Jewelry Week. With Alliage, we decided to give 2 awards to compensate the artist having a free spot in the next exhibition organized by Alliage for the end of the year in Lille and next year in Munich and other destinations. The quality of all the works presented are incredible, and we decided to give finally 2 awards for emerging and 2 awards for non-emerging. So the non-emerging awarded are Monique Lecuna and Alex Kinsley-Vey for their necklaces that are incredible executed. And for the emerging talent, the awarded artists are Sarah Mas for her work with Still on Animal, and to Louise Gignoux for her poetry and the execution of her necklace. So you are invited to participate to the next exhibition of Alliage with the works that you have presented in this Precious Collective Online Jewelry Week. Congratulations.
Precious Collective is passionate about supporting and developing its members through community and new professional opportunities. We've had the pleasure of working with the curator, writer and mentor, Melody Vaughan, who will provide one lucky winner with a prize of 2 90-minute mentoring sessions. Several of our committee members have previously worked with Melody and know how valuable such in-depth and reflective conversations can be to our creative practices. So it's with great joy that we share this opportunity with a fellow collective member. After shortlisting 5 excellent makers, we asked each, should they win, how they would use this mentoring time and what it could help them achieve. This feedback then allowed us to all choose our winner. We are pleased to announce that this prize will go to Joshua Koska, exhibiting within the mixed materials category. Your work is fantastic, and we hope that these sessions will be of value to you as you go forward in your practice. Congratulations. Cluster have been championing contemporary jewellery within their events and online since 2016. Their honesty and ability to nurture a community are what has drawn the Precious Collective to partnering with them, and we are delighted to now be offering not just one, but 2 places in Cluster London's upcoming jewellery fair this December. All exhibitors' work from this year's Precious Collective Online Jewellery Week were presented to Cluster's Emma Marinova, who then had the very difficult task of selecting what we thought would be one winner. But fortunately for our artists, she has very generously selected 2. Her choices are based on the combination of conceptual drive and aesthetics. She has selected artists who are looking at society and existence as a whole, advocating awareness and demonstrating craftsmanship. The first prize goes to Megan Mackenzie, exhibiting in the environmental category. Congratulations. Emma chose you because you are environment conscious. She loves the way that you have used recycled materials and that you have managed to create something so delicately fine and beautiful. The second prize goes to Vibka Pandikow, exhibiting in the Precious category. Congratulations to you. Emma chose you because your work also comments on the environment as well as contemporary society. You have developed quite staggering and visually striking pieces with 2 crucial to this world materials, wood and plastic. Well done to both winners. We look forward to seeing your work in London at the end of the year.
Hello everyone, I'm Dan Pierșinaru from Autor, and I have to make this video to announce the winner of Autor Media Award as this first edition of Precious Collective Jewellery Week. Congratulations girls for doing that. I know it was a lot of work, but well, you wanted. And I think it's great that we have a new event, and I hope that you will have a lot of continuity with it, because this is so important. Autor will give a media award that will consist in promotion of the work of the artist that we are choosing for this award. And I have to say that I was attracted by the emerging talent section, which I think it was curated by Juan Huesch. And I was attracted by the work of Matilde Mozanega from UK. Sorry if I misspelled your name. Well, you know, I try to do my best. So congratulations for your work, and congratulations for having this award from us. I have to say that I was attracted by the fact that your work was touching also consumerism in a very whimsical way, and in a funny way, not so dramatic. And the fact that you work with recycled materials and it was joyful. And I think, as I know also your previous work, and there is like a total difference between them. I was really surprised by it, and I really like it, you know. So congratulations, Matilde. I really hope to receive from you everything we need to promote your work, and hope to see you soon, right? Congratulations one more time, and do the work. Bye.
Hi there, we are Kelvin
and Katrin
from K2 Academy of Contemporary Jewellery in London. We welcome you to the first Precious Collective Jewellery Week, and we are happy to be part of this event. K2 Academy contributes to the Precious Collective Jewellery Week with one prize for a chosen artist. One of the makers will receive a personal mentoring session with each of us. They can choose between design and technical advice, guidance on their concept, help with their business, or a mix of all of these points.
As the winner, we have chosen Lorena Lazar from Mexico.
Congratulations.
We are really impressed by her choice to use soil as jewellery material and her overall concept. For her work, we feel there is quite a wide scope to expand into various directions, and we are happy to contribute to her work development. We congratulate Lorena, and we hope she will benefit from our input.
Congratulations again, and we hope to speak to you soon. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again to all of our partners for such generous prizes, and congratulations to all the winners. Although we would have loved to have awarded a prize to every single participant in the exhibition, maybe that'll be a thing in the future, who knows. We are very proud of all of you, and thank you again for having been involved in this first Precious Collective Online Jewellery Week. Following this, we are having a bit of a Zoom party if you'd like to join us. This is something that happened on Wednesday, a bit on the off the cuff, that Lynn and I set up, and it worked out incredibly well. So if you'd like to join us, the link to the Zoom is going to be posted, if it hasn't already, on the YouTube chat. So please do join us, and we will have a chat. Probably won't, we might keep streaming it, who knows, you'll have to wait and see. But I'd just like to give a big thank you to everybody for being involved. Thank you for all of the artists, thank you for all of our partners, and thank you especially to the rest of the collective for joining in, and for any viewers and audience members who may not be familiar with Precious Collective. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope that you will join us again for future events, and we will see you very soon. Thank you very much. So here we are, folks. We've come to the end of our jewellery week, and we have thoroughly enjoyed having you all here with us. Ta-da! We achieved, we succeeded, I think. I don't know. Hopefully, you'll have to let us know. Feedback on the back of a postcard to some form of digital address. Thank you so much to everyone. Congratulations to all the winners again. What a fabulous night. I'm now opening up the floor to anyone wanting to join us for a Zoom party. I will be your gatekeeper. So there we go. If you are joining the Zoom party, can I just ask that you shut down the YouTube? I sound very much like the generation that I am. If you can shut down YouTube before joining in on the Zoom, otherwise we end up in this incredible echo chamber, which I'm sure would be some musician's dream. But unfortunately, the rest of us struggle with that kind of stuff. So here we go. I think I already have some people waiting to come in. So let's get on with this. Let's get people in. Let's start the party as we mean to go on. And I believe it's carrying on with the live stream. So the wonderful Juan is back, and we have Elvira. Hello, hello. And Iro as well. Oh. Hopefully it'll all work. I completely forgot. I'm going to have to put everybody on mute because I completely forgot, and I have been reminded by the absolutely fabulous Lynn Speak, who is our Mama Precious, that we have been collecting donations from various people for Makers Against Extinction. We've also been able to make a fairly generous donation from the money raised through people's participation fees. We have also had a very generous donation from Alliage, and the grand total is, and there's only a drum roll because I'm accessing my messages to find out the grand total. It is nothing to do with Suspense or anything like that from the X Factor or any of those shows. The grand total raised is £611.50. So well done, everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you to the generous artists allowing us to put their application fees in that as well. So, hey. And now everyone join in. I will unmute anybody that wants to join in, and let's have a party, shall we? I've got a glass of wine. Elvira, do you want to unmute yourself? I think I can unmute you. Maybe it'll let me.
Are we broadcasting in YouTube?
I think so.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe if we say rude words it will cut us out, but I suppose maybe we'll cut it off if it starts getting a bit too leery. I'm never too sure. How is everyone? Iro, lovely to see you.
Hi, congratulations to all. Amazing award.
Hello,
Hola, Juan. Amazing award.
Thank you. ¿Qué tal vas?
Ona is Argentine. I know her, and her work is amazing. Juan, thanks for her award.
Yeah.
She really deserves that.
So great, actually, I think it's a real shame that we can invite more people in to receive awards, but it's because I think everybody that participated, it's tough. But, right.
Hello, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi. Hi, Glenn. Everybody.
Oh, so are we going to carry on broadcasting this, Lynn, or do we keep it as a? What do you reckon?
I think we stop broadcasting and then everybody can just relax and party.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So before we stop broadcasting, let's just say thank you to everyone. We really enjoyed it. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the makers. Congratulations to everyone. And
I think we stop broadcasting and then everybody can just relax and party.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we've got that wonderful echo chamber happening. Someone's still got YouTube open. So let's just say thank you to everyone. We really enjoyed it. Congratulations to the winners. Right. Lynn, we cut the feed on YouTube. Cut the feed on YouTube. We're done.